have to go somewhere. So I hope you all are doing well. I did not see Lester and Tasha K. Because I ain't joining nobody membership to pay Cardi B. Girl, get your Cardi B money, but I'll see it when it drop. But I did have a chance to go over to good morning, good morning, Minnie, Mimi. I'm sorry. I did have a chance to go to really BTV first and St. James, and it's really interesting to hear their perspectives because they were slightly different. Really, really, BTV took a position of I don't really know what to believe because there's so much going on with this dude. I don't know what to believe. St. James took the position of um, this is damning. It's not good. At any rate, both of them thought that the interview was just interesting. Now, really, BTV took notes, baby. She had notes. She wrote things down. So I'm going to tell you what I think from their commentary. And when I do get to view the interview, I'm going to see how close it came. Because again, I haven't seen it because I haven't been over to Tasha K's app, and it's $12 for 1 month and $144 for a year. And baby, I can put $12 and $144 to some better things. I'm just saying. I ain't mad at Tasha. God bless you. Heaven smile upon you, niece. But we ain't now. Not this season. But what I gathered from both of them is that let me say this. Let me say this. Really, BTV, I get you, but I really side and think like St. James for some reason, and I'm not discrediting really BTV, but there are some things that I could see really BTV giving him a side eye, and I might give him a side eye. But I'll put it this way. St. James asked a question, do you all think that this man is telling the truth? And a lot of people put one in the chat. I didn't put one or two in the chat. I put, I believe some of the stuff he's saying is right on. And for other things, I would need solid evidence. And I think that's what I said. And so I will say from what I gathered, the main point of St. James's commentary was that Lester was no joke, and like Larry met his match. Lester saw, according to Lester, Larry Reed, and he pursued Larry Reed, not because he attracted to Larry or anything to that matter, but it was he was flashy, he was traveling, he looked like he had some money. And Lester said this would be a good lick. And again, Lester seems like he he will do what he needs to do. I think Lester is probably fluid in sexuality, and I think Lester is a worldly man. Let me say something about Lester. Lester, one thing I do believe that Lester at one point in time probably was a millionaire, and the reason why I say that is because Lester was a professional soccer player, or what they know as football, soccer. Lester was making major money. Lester was doing interviews. Lester was playing teams like Manchester United and all of these. So he's not a poor guy. Lester has been all around the world way before Larry Reed because Lester traveled with his soccer club. So Lester ain't dumb. Lester done rubbed arms and elbows with some people. They might be in America, but in Europe and South America and the Middle East, baby, he was a football player. Everybody know who that man is for the most part. And so y'all trying to make this man to be a bum, and he's not a bum. And let me say this: Lester is in Wikipedia. Larry Reed ain't in with no Wikipedia. And I'm just not trying to diminish Larry to lift up Lester, but I'm just letting you all know that this narrative that this man is a bum and he didn't have nothing. Now I don't know what he did with his money, but Lester was not a bum, and I'm really bringing this home because it's going to really make sense now, and I understand. So to me, Lester looked at Larry like an easy lick. Don't you think that Lester didn't do this to women either? I think Lester was an equal opportunity take advantage of somebody, and Larry just happened to be the one he took advantage of. That's in my opinion. And then Larry thought he was gonna run Lester, and Lester was like, at the end, no, because I'm not that dude. I'm not that dude. Um, so I think it's really interesting. And then I could be wrong, but what I was listening to as far as St. James and what St. James was given, I'm like, wow. Um, so now St. James didn't give me that about Lester who he was, but I thought about what he was saying and this guy. And so St. James said that in Tasha K's interview, Lester said that Reed, according to Lester, in this interview, was paying his rent and stuff and putting him in hotels sight unseen at the beginning. Okay? Now, I don't know if that comes under the homeless ministry or the benevolence. I mean, because the Bible did say, feed those who didn't have and the homeless and stuff. Okay, but maybe that came under the homeless ministry. But but then he met Larry, and he said he wasn't attracted to Larry, but he was attracted to Larry's money. And again, let me tell you something. Lester is a whole. He is a whole. I don't want to call the man a trick, but baby, he's a trick looking for a lick, and Larry happens to be that lick. Now, they did say that Lester could cook. Lester learned how to cook. Lester, they said that he was attracted to trans. He really didn't do dudes, but he did trans because they look like women. And they went through this. They said Lester may have had some things to happen to him when he was growing up. And so that may have been his entryway into being fluid. I'll put it that way. And so it was a lot of things going on. They were saying Latrice was the cook, but Lester was the personal cook. And Latrice is, I guess, Lester's wife in that contractual marriage. And it seems like Latrice married a whole lot of people. Latrice is doing a whole lot of marriage. She's doing a whole lot of marriage. Now, this is what I don't get. And according to St. James, Lester probably took $130,000 from Larry, all in all, according to Lester's interview on Tasha K. Baby, where all this money coming from? Where's all of this money coming from? And if now, let me say this. You can make a good living off of YouTube if you focus on it full time. You can really make some good money. Really, you can. But when you're talking about $9,000 in a month, and you paying people like XYZ, and baby, that money is coming from other places. Now, I ain't trying to be funny, but I didn't know that Larry went, if he even went to court reporting school. Um, I, I mean, he's getting a lot of real estate, and even with real estate, you got to have some money. And I think that if people are not careful, yeah. And see, Larry may not have to report all of this money because it's a ministry, so it's not for profit, and he might not have to report it since it's a church. Now, if he was a not for profit like Goodwill or United Way or YMCA, he would have to do a 990 and report that. But because he's a church, he probably don't have to do that. But I just think that's interesting. A lot of money changing hands. Um, According to St. James, Lester didn't really want Latrice. Lester wanted his ex-wife. Lord, my God. Now, Lester, this is where people kind of get you mixed up, and this is why I'm like, I can go with or without, because you said that she was fine, and then you said she was average. She can't be both. She's either gonna be fine or average. So you just gonna have to make up your mind on that, Lester. But yeah, I will say this: some of the things that Vincent said, Lester said straight out, and it also was talking about Levontre, and that hit home to some people. Um, yeah, it was a couple of things there. Lester kind of got pissed at Larry at some point in time and just started being defiant. Um, Said Lester was called according to Tasha K and what Lester said in this interview, and this is what Lester said. This is not what I'm saying. This is what Lester said. I come to tell you what Lester said. I come to tell you what Lester said. I'm coming to tell you what Lester said. He said that he was invited, called over to the house. It was people doing some things. It's an orgy, and Lester didn't want to participate. Lester didn't like the men that Larry was hanging around. I don't know. Hold on for a minute, y'all. I don't know. Lester wanted to be the number one, honey. And Lester was trying to share the asset. No pun intended. Lester was not trying to share all of that. But Lester said he really did not care according to what was said, those other guys. He didn't go to Dubai and all of those places because, again, he was not really interested in them. Really wasn't interested in Larry, but Larry was the source. And so since Larry was the source, Lester wanted to stay close to the source. And that's what I gathered from that. Um, it was a big mess. He really didn't speak well on Shamako. He said Shamako is worse than Larry, and that's the same thing that Buddha said. So, see, some of this stuff really adds up. Some of it really clicks into place. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the interview, you all. But just gathering a little bit from St. James, it was a lot of sex going on. Lester did not like the guys that Larry were with. He didn't like Larry, but it was, it was the source. He did talk about Larry privates and all of that stuff. Lord Jesus. Now this what get me. This what get me. According to Really BTV, what she heard over there on Tasha K, somebody said that um, the Holy Spirit is in their sperm. Honey, I was like, what? 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 Now, let me tell y'all something. When people say stuff like that, the Holy Spirit is in their sperm and stuff, like I said, I was not there. This is what Lester said. But it's trying to give me immaculate conception tease. And, baby, don't do that. Don't do that. And this is why I don't question people's salvation, but I do question their theology. And I think some of this theology is way off. I really do question this theology. And this is where I think people, that he doctored this and this and this and this. Let that real doctor. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. But I can't. No. So anyway, I'm gonna jump right on off of that one right there. But yeah, it's just a lot going on. A lot of people on payroll, and I'm gonna tell you, if Larry didn't have all of this money, would people be with him? If Larry go broke, are you sure that people wouldn't sell the story to get money from him? And I'm just asking these questions because it seems like a lot of stuff revolves around money. It seems like people like him because of money. Now, some people, it's not a money thing. Some people may like him because of his power, perceived power. So when he was a pastor, let me tell you something. People are attracted to folk with power, even if it ain't that much. If you don't believe me, look at these musicians over 300 pounds and getting married because the people like they give. They may not like them, but they may like to give. And I think, see, people get mixed up. Now, I think that Lester liked the money. I think Lester liked the money. But I think the other gentleman liked the gifts with the money. And in church, people get attracted to folk who can preach. They like people who can sing because that looks like power to them. And I think a lot of people get mixed up in that power. And again, I go back to musicians, y'all. Musicians, why do you think musicians be popping people, getting people pregnant, or be having dates and stuff? Because they're musicians. They got to give. Singers the same way. Because you got to give. And folk are attracted to your gift. I know this guy, and he was crazy about this lady because she could pray. And he talking about something, that's my wife. I'm like, that ain't your wife. You just like that lady because she can pray. You like her because she can pray. You like how she pray. That don't mean that's your wife. That means you like her because she can pray. And that was the real tease. And I just think, people got to really own that and man up or woman up about that why they like these people in ministry. So I think a lot of stuff may not be a whole lot of money. I think that a lot of people like folk because of what they can do for them. Hold on for a minute, y'all. For entry, please press the button for a parking ticket or insert your credit card. Okay, y'all. Hold on, let me see what y'all saying. All right, y'all. Let me see what y'all saying. But no, I think it's a big mess, and I just think it's really interesting. So what I said again for some of you all who just didn't hear, I think a lot of people are attracted to money. You look at some of these people and it's like how they get a wife or but it's money. It's money. And then some people, it goes beyond the money. It goes to the gifts. It goes because this person is gifted. This person is gifted and they can sing or they have something, that people like. So I think you have to look at that as well. So those are my thoughts when it comes to those types of things, you all. Let me see what y'all saying. People attracted to gifts. Yeah. Yeah, people are attracted to gifts. You all, I am up right now because I am at the airport, and so I got a flight to catch. So, can I park here? I don't want to get told, Jesus. I don't want to get told, Lord. Let me back it up. Y'all give me a minute. I'm parking in this. These parking spaces tight. I hope nobody don't hit my little stuff. My little stinking Lincoln today. Can I park? Okay, let me see. Am I in? I am in. Oh no, I'm too close. I'm too close. Hold on, y'all. I gotta repark. I have more space on this side than I thought. So let me get on over here. I don't want nobody to hit my little stuff. Okay, I done parked now. I done parked. So we can talk a little bit. Let me see what y'all saying now. Okay. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I'm sorry. So anyway, I just think that it's gonna be very interesting. With Lester, I think Buddha is more truthful. I think a lot of people are mad because of the reason Buddha might have came out and said what he said, and I think people are focusing more on the why than the what when it comes to Buddha. And with Buddha, I don't care why he came out. I don't care if he did it because he was bitter. I don't care if he did it because he was paid. I don't care why he did it. It's the what, and it's the content. It's the content rather that's very important to me when it comes to Buddha. Um, Lester, I think Lester is more vindictive than Buddha. I don't. I think with Lester, it is the money. It has always been the money. It has always been business. This is somebody I can get some money off of. I think Lester, where he was trying to entrap Larry, and I think Larry went for the bait. Lester did not do a lot of things that Larry wanted him to do, according to Lester. Lester said he does have a video of them. Larry has a video of Lester, but Lester said he has a video of them. Now, the thing with Lester is, if Lester is a bum, then why are you letting the man in your house? Now, that evidence was damning because we saw that man in your house, picture and videotape. So if he's a bum, why is that bum in your house? And see, again, that doesn't make sense. I mean, people know the bum. You know the bum. Why are you putting this bum up in hotel rooms and doing that? Let me tell you something, y'all. Lester was such a shiesty somebody. Chade said that Lester had subleased the apartment to some Nigerians, allegedly. This is what said on Tasha K's thing, according to um, St. James. So Lester was about getting money. And when I look at Lester, I think Lester got caught up in the sex, but Lester was about money. He didn't care about anybody but Lester getting money. And trust me, if Lester has a tape with him and Larry Reed, Lester's going to try to put that out and make some money because Lester seems like he is about the money. That's what Lester seems like he's about, the money. And that's what I gathered from him the whole time. I mean, from subleasing the apartment to get money up front to all of these things, it was about money, money, money. And he saw Larry as a lick, a payday, and he was right. His hunch paid off. This man deals with strategy. Let me tell y'all something. He's a football player. His whole goal is to win, and even when the chips are down, they're trying to win. And this man is an athlete. He's thinking, how can I win? So to him, Larry is a game. And even right now, he's gonna win. Now, what I do think that's wrong is he think he was sent by God to teach Larry a lesson. No, no, no. Um, it's I don't know if it was of God. I think all things work together for the good, but I don't think it was God. Now I heard that too, and I was like, yeah. So yeah, let me see what you said, Dre Day. It was an interesting interview. I watched it. Tasha did a good job with navigating it. Lester was up front and had no reservations about his actions. Larry was a financial means for Lester, as stated. That's stated. That's not STD. Lord, don't do me. Don't do me. Lester as stated, not STD. But I heard somebody had some HPV. Don't ask me how, but it was a lot of things going on. So I don't want to be accused of saying somebody had an STD. That is as stated. Larry was a financial means for Lester as stated, not STD. Baby, because that was a double entendre, Dre Day. Was that meant for a double entendre? Are you trying to say something? I'm just saying. Anyway, baby, I cracks myself up. But anyway, moving right along. Yeah, it's a lot going on. I don't think this is gonna go away in 2 months. I think this is gonna drag out. If Lester has a video, that's always gonna be in the back of folk mind. This has hurt Larry financially. Now you can go to Cinco de Mayo, you can go to Los Ochos Rios, you can go to Acapulco, Los Cabos, okay, Tijuana, wherever you want to go. Some people, let me say this. There are some people who are with you or were with you that are not with you now because of this. And it's almost like a Trump thing. You're gonna be running. You're gonna be running out of cash because people gonna stop this. And let me say this: it's not even about your sexuality. It's not even about your sexuality. It's about people and their money. Be honest. Let me say this: when I tell y'all I'm going to Vegas, if y'all give something to me, y'all know I'm going to Vegas. Whatever I'm gonna use it for, that money. Good morning. Yeah, I got a flight to catch in a couple of minutes. Whatever I say I'm gonna do with that money, I'm gonna do that with that money. That's it. That's all. If it's for whatever I want to do with it, I'm gonna tell y'all that. And it's all of this ministry. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I think a lot of people are upset too because you went in on a lot of people about their sexuality and who they doing and all of this stuff, and here you are doing the most. You can say what you want about Tone. You can say what you want about the Walls gentlemen and all of this stuff, but baby, you got a whole baby. This is a lifetime movie right here. This is a lifetime movie. I'm like, it's so many twists and turns. You got you got Lester, a international, world-renowned soccer player, wrapped up in this stuff. You got him marrying people for convenience. This is why he in the country now, because he done got married to your cousin allegedly. Then you got Vincent, who was in your ministry for 15 years. Y'all was sleeping together, according to him. This is his account of the story, for 13 years. Then you got Levontre and those guys in North Carolina. Then you got Craig the writer, who is just vouching or backing up the story of Vincent. Then you got Vincent, whose story aligns with Lester. And Vincent and Lester don't even know each other. But the stories sound the same. So I think people see that. And let me say this. I ain't trying to mess up nobody's flow. But when you get your flow through deceptive means, it's one thing to tell people what you're gonna do with the money and say, hey, if you give it to me, it's mine, and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's a lot going on here. So look, y'all, I am gonna have a chance to watch the Tasha K interview. I really want to see it for myself. I'm only telling you all what commentators have focused on and said, because again, they either had the app or what have you. I'm not vested like that. I ain't investing in folk like that. Nope, I'm not. But if I do get to see it, I want to see his movements and all of these things, because I'm taking the whole thing in. They said Tasha K did a really good job of just letting him say what he needed to say. So I think that was interesting. So it's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be very interesting how these things play out. And I huh. Oh, I do know what I want to say. Let me say this again. Be very clear. Conscious TV don't have an issue, but calling people bums and everybody wants something from Larry. Yes, you want something from Larry. It seems like everybody wants something from Larry, and that's that green. So you can't blame people for the same thing you doing. Um, and attacking people is not diminishing their story and the validity of the story. You're just attacking people. So what you're saying about Buddha is true. He's evicted. Okay. I ain't never known eviction to make people liars. And that's my thing. I see all of this attacking. Now, a lot of the children saying, where is Storm Monroe and Armand Wiggins on this? Because they said that they use their own things. They did that interview with Larry. They said, Storm Monroe and Armand, where you at? They said, are y'all getting paid? Y'all still on payroll? Now, I mean, they said, where you at, Storm Monroe? Where you at, Armand Wiggins? The people want to hear from you. Y'all on vacation at the same time, because folks, they say y'all real quiet, and a lot of people I noticed that Armand Wiggins and Storm Monroe is real quiet on this matter. I'm just saying, so I just had to throw that out. I threw that out a little bit. Okay, y'all. So let me go on over here and get my breakfast over here at this airport. But we'll see what happens. I really want to see the interview, but like I said, Tasha probably won't drop it until she get all her money's worth, and then she'll drop it. She almost like the streaming services with the TV show. Like I Miss Abbott Elementary last night, so baby, when I go on over to my app, it probably won't be on until 2-3 days later. So we don't know, but I did get enough from St. James and Really BTV to kind of get a feel of what was happening. And again, I think that Lester was all about the money. It was not about love. It seems like Lester because they said he did that sublease. And when they was talking about that sublease thing, I'm like, he's about the money. And y'all got to remember, this is not a dumb man. This is a man who played football. This is a man who played soccer. They worked as a team. They always had to come back from deficits and win, or they knew how to win. So this man is thinking like an athlete. How can I win? What is the goal? The man knows what he's doing, and he's not dumb. And I think he really got Larry on the ropes. Larry thought he was using this man and getting over, but this man already had an agenda. My God, y'all better hear this. Everybody who come in your life ain't trying to be. Some people have an agenda. This is why I say ain't no friends on YouTube, and I mean that because people be having agendas. And you know what, y'all? Y'all could be friends with these people for a whole season, and their whole goal is to get next to you. Haven't we seen this on these phones with these other folk and people recording phone calls and things? I'm just being real. Baby, these recording not phone, but phone calls and texts, not text messages, but text messages. Baby, these people doing the most. So, what I got from Lester is to win. Oh, he got a new podcast on Spotify. I'm sure he'll get a lot of views over there. Well, y'all, let me get on over here before I miss this plane. And I ain't missing no planes. Y'all know I don't be missing no planes. So let me go on in here. Wait, let me see. I got to take a picture of what parking space I'm in because, I forget. So y'all be blessed. I will be back on probably when I arrive at my destination. But I will be looking out for Tasha K's video to drop because I really want to hear. It seemed like Lester hadn't said anything major that he said on King Payne's show. I think Lester just probably got into more a little detail than King Payne. But I just think, yeah, yeah, because I heard him on King Payne, and it was very interesting his story there as well. And so, yeah, we'll go on in with that. But baby, when somebody say they sperm got the Holy Spirit in it, I'm first of all, I'm dubious and doubtful right there, baby, dubious and doubtful right there. Okay. Anyway, holy sperm, holy sperm, child, holy sperm. Baby, I'm so done. I'm so done. Okay, y'all, I'm out. Peace, love. I'll talk to y'all later.